Yo, so welcome back to Project Science. It was an almost an epic showdown today when Senator Natasha decided to seize the bull by the horn and then resume her legislative function, at the plenary. And then we saw the security agencies, instructed by Akpabio, one of the most corrupt politicians in Nigeria, who is a disgrace to Nigerian politics, preventing the honorable senator from coming inside. And they locked the other senators inside the chambers like prisoners. You see, they've become prisoners. But first of all, to me, it's a big shame on all the opposition senators that were inside that chambers, because they would have voiced out their frustration over the way Akpabio is handling it. Because Senator Natasha has clearly stated that in the appeal, it was just Senator Akpabio who wrote the appeal, because it's supposed to include the ethics committee and one other committee or so, but only Akpabio, which shows that he has something against her. In the end, those people prevented them. First of all, when they got to the National Assembly, the outside of the National Assembly, there were security men. These same people that they would have sent to Zamfara, to Gombe, to Plateau and Benue, where there are crises, they now kept them to be protecting corrupt politicians. And then in the end, what happens? She is prevented, first of all, by who I'll call the security operatives of the National Assembly. But because she was with able-bodied men, she was able to fight her way and gained entrance into the place. Of course, now, Aisha Yusufu was with her. And then they found their way in. And now once they found their way in, they now got to the main gate of the complex, that will lead to the building where those cockroaches of senators were having their plenary. And then that was where the Nigerian police, the same Nigerian police that citizens were fighting for yesterday, the same Nigerian police that Showere, who the tear gas and all of that, were fighting for. Now, do you want to tell me that some of those police people that Showere were some of those people who Showere was fighting for yesterday, you want to tell me that some of them were not in service during when Showere was being prosecuted? Of course they were. But in the end, what happened? Now they've retired and they are not getting money. Showere is not the one fighting for them. This is what the Nigerian police does not know. They don't have sense at all. They allow corrupt politicians to use them, and then by the time they are retired, these corrupt politicians will send their children abroad to go and be schooling, and these policemen will be dying. Go to general hospital, go to government hospitals, you see them dying like cockroaches there after they retire, because they don't have money to pay bills. Their children are largely irresponsible, but the same politicians who put them in that situation and that are making you and I go through what we are going through, police will carry gun, AK-47 and be carrying handbags for them. So in the end, Senator Natasha has shown that she's a woman of courage. She fought them, and she read the part of the appeal of Akpabio. That it was only Akpabio that appealed the decision of the federal court, not the entire Senate. So in the end, what were the other senators doing inside the chambers? What were they doing inside the chambers? They would have come out. Trust me, opposition senators, as we speak right now, out of the about 90 or thereabout, are up to about 30. Imagine 30 people storming out. They are more than 30. Imagine 30 people storming out of that place. Even Labour Party and PDP senators, I'm just so ashamed of them, because I know Seraki Godson, this senator from Bayelsa, who is anti what is going on, would have done it. Maybe he was not fully informed about what is going on. In the end, they were all inside there. What were they deliberating upon when a fellow senator is being deprived of a right to carry out oversight of the executive, represent our people, and make laws? Akpabio, that probably did not win an election, that rigged himself into power, is now stopping a person that was legitimately elected, duly elected in an opposition state and won. It's a shame. It's a big disgrace. Nigerians are sitting at home